This is a video about the Legion Go S with SteamOS, 32 gigabytes RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, and the the Legion Go 2. Sorry about that. So we got the S versus the 2. This is the Z2 Extreme, 32 gigabytes RAM, 1 terabyte. What I like and don't like about these two devices. And so I'm just gonna kind of go into this, gonna be short and sweet, why I'm keeping this one, the S, and I'm returning the 2. Number one, for me personally, look at how my hand lays when I pick up the 2. See my thumb? When I go to the A button, my thumb hits the joystick. And that's kind of a big deal for me. I find myself like having to aim my thumb down, like bend my knuckle, and it just, so there's that. And now watch when I pick up the S and I lay my thumb on the A button. Not even anywhere near the joystick. So there's that, which kind of bothers me. And then there's I like the 2 USB-Cs on top and the headphone jack on top of the S versus on the 2, you've got one USB-C up top and then you've got a USB-C and the headphone jack on the bottom, but this thing's kind of heavy, and so when it's sitting down, if you ever want to plug your headphones into it, you have to put them on the bottom, and that to me is just kind of weird. So that's already a couple of things that kind of bothered me about the Go 2. My thumb just sort of, and you see how the controls sort of, they slope down right here. Whereas I think they should do the opposite. They should bulge out at the bottom. That way your hand could be more out here. And so that's kind of a big deal for me, honestly, is the buttons. And they're kind of actually the similar form factor. I know the screen's bigger and better on the number 2, but honestly, I feel like when I'm playing them both back and forth, I don't really, it's not like so drastic to where I'm like, oh, obviously the screen on this one is better. And I have them both asleep right now. And this is Fallout 4, and I have the TDP set at 15 watts, and I have the screen locked at 60 frames per second. And you can see as I move around, jump around, do things, it's hopping around 62, 60 frames per second, which is, and it's got that big battery in it, which is nice. And I do like this, but like I said, when I'm over here with this hand hitting the buttons and stuff, it's like, see how easy that just, if I'm hitting the A button, it's just like I'm hitting the actual joystick. I'm not a huge fan of these buttons over here that, I know they don't really do anything, but I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna take these controllers off. I'm just gonna use it in my lap or put it on a pillow in my lap. And I just find that annoys me, that this thing is in the way of these buttons. Whereas with the S, like I said, I put my hands on it and look, it's like I'm not hitting anything. It's just, and the same thing here, I have it set at 15 watts, 60 frames per second. And you can see like it's 57, frames per second. It's probably a few less, like it'll dip down into the upper 40s and stuff as I'm doing things, but it's just, when I'm hitting these buttons and stuff, I'm not hitting this joystick. And sometimes I dock it to my TV with the thing, and I like having both things on top because I can prop this thing up and then I can put the HDMI to one USB-C connector. If I'm sitting with it in my lap, I'll put my headphones in. It's comfortable. The screen is reasonable. I know that the screen on the, but I got this one used for $600 on Facebook, and I got this one from Best Buy for, you know, $1,450. And I just can't really, I don't think I can quite justify, you know, a little bit more screen size, considering the things I don't like. Oh yeah, it's giving me the, you can't play this on 2 consoles at the same time, which is fine. I'm just doing this as a quick. And the speakers on here are front facing. The speakers up here are up facing. And so, look, to each their own. Obviously, this is a more powerful machine down here. The number 2, the Go 2. I'm not a huge fan of the controllers and the way that they are. I wish they would have bumped out the bottoms a little bit more like they did up here. To me, this feels more like a true handheld. This mouse pad really doesn't, you know, do much for me. This has got a better mouse pad. You know, the back is the back. You got the fans and the kickstand and this and that. And obviously I have a case on my S, and it has a little built-in kickstand. I got this for 20 bucks on Amazon, and it works good, this case. I like it. Gives a little protection. And then I have a zip-up hard case. And this thing came with a flimsy, like, cloth. Came with this, you know. I'm gonna put my $1,500 thing in here and throw that in my backpack. It's like, it's gonna be smashing the joysticks and stuff. I'm just like, for 1,500 bucks, man, they should have given me a dang hard shell with the front cover on it or something, in my opinion. I think the Go 1 came with a better case, and so all in all, I'm gonna be returning the 2 and keeping the S for those reasons of ergonomics. If it was all about performance, obviously this is a little better. I have SteamOS installed on here, 3.8. This came with Steam on it. But when it comes to actual just like comfortability and just how it feels in my hand and how much I enjoy it, when I go back and forth between the 2, I just like this one better. And so that's my 2 cents on it. Everybody can have their own opinion. For this, I spent $600 used. It was brand new, like new. I bought from a police officer who said he didn't really like it. I paid $600 cash for it, and I bought a hard case for it that zips up with extra room in it for like the $25, $30. I got this case for $20. I got a glass screen protector for $5 or $6. This for 1,500 bucks roughly. I'm gonna have to get a case for it. I'm gonna have to get screen protectors. I'm gonna have to get, you know, whatever. It's just like, it's just too much money. Honestly, if this were more like 1,000, or I don't even know, because the form factor of this one just makes me happier than this one. And so, like I said, I will be returning this one. I'll probably put Windows back on it and return it. And I'll just keep this guy because this really just is doing it for me. And I like the S. And at the price, it's just, to me, a better device. And so those are my 2 cents. Like I said, I just wanted to make a short and sweet video for anybody out there who's trying to, you know, get one of these things for the holidays and wants to just consider, outside of just the better screen and the performance and the price point, like what you're actually going to be dealing with when you get it. And so I was thinking I was going to keep the number 2 because it's just a better device and, you know, on paper. But once I got it, I was just like, oh, first of all, I hated Windows. And so I got Windows off of there and it made it janky. And then I got it going with SteamOS, and then I could actually go back and forth between the 2 and figure out which one I want. And in the end, for the price and everything, I'm just like, you know, maybe in a year or a year and a half, when the when the Legion Go 2 drops down to like $800, or you can get an open box for $750 or $900 or something from Best Buy, I could see, okay, maybe you get some aftermarket grips to put on it to like bulge out the sides a little bit, and maybe it would be a nice, and when Legion releases SteamOS native for this and you can get a clean boot, I could see maybe making the switch then. But for now, I'm going with this, and that's my 2 cents. I'm out.